Hi, so this is for essay assignment one. I'm giving this a bit early because we've actually already, it's not due till September 21st. So we have a lot of time to finish this. And the reason why I'm giving you so much time is because next week I'm actually going to discuss the visual um, portfolio of education. And we're also going to do a peer review. So we have a bit of time, and then the essays kind of start coming faster. But I'm also going to do a bit of a lecture on finding your own sort resources that is optional. However, it's an important skill that you'll have to use for the next couple of papers. And also, of course, in your future writing, especially like 126 or 123, if you choose to go take one of those classes. I think you need to. All right, so what is this? This is the essay assignment one. This is Rethinking the Promise of Education. It's the title of it. It has to be 4 to 6 pages. It has to be an MLA format. It has to be 12 point times New Roman, double spaced with a works cited page. So MLA format, you need to make sure this is in it. I've provided a handout and a video on that. Not everybody's watched it, which is fine if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing with MLA or just you're not familiar with it, I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. And if you don't understand or don't know about MLA style, you need to watch those videos to understand what it is. Okay. The main problem people forget is the page number in the top right corner. So please don't forget that. Last name plus page number, but please see the videos on that. Okay, so let's talk about it. You've read these blurred lines. Take two. City of Broken Dreams. Next week you'll have a visual portfolio. I just wanted to give this to you so you know what you're doing, but please don't stress out. You have a lot of time to write this essay. And I just wanted you to have it early so you can think about um, this topic. And for the first essay, I wanted to give you a little extra time. So each of the texts listed below explores education not as just a personal journey, but also as a complex and often contradictory social system. In this essay, you will analyze the following texts, so you have to use them. Okay. With the visual portfolio as well, I meant text as in these ones. Visual portfolio is just could inspire you, but it's not necessary, and you do not have to refer to anything in the visual portfolio. It's not required. The text, I mean these. Visual portfolio is extra. Examining how each author presents the role, value, and limitations of education. You do have an optional outside research, which I mentioned, and I'll give you more information about how to use DVC's research online research databases next week. So your task is to write a critical essay that answers the following question. How do these authors challenge or uphold the myth that education is the great equalizer in society? Okay, so that's the question. Now you need to say if you agree or disagree with that. Because remember, you need to have a thesis statement that takes a position and can be argued against. So use your selected text to support a clear thesis statement. Your analysis should include specific quotes, examples, and critical reasoning. You may focus on themes such as access to education, gender inequality, mental health, family expectations, financial barriers, or the gap between promise and reality. In your essay, you should introduce your topic with a strong hook and a thesis, takes a clear stance on how education is portrayed in the text. So next week we're going to do, this week we did thesis statements. Next week we're going to do overall essay organization. Okay. Make sure you summarize key ideas from each of the 3 or 4 texts. If you do an outside text, you analyze briefly. Your focus should be on analysis, not summary. So make sure that you're not summarizing. I know what the book said. You need to analyze it. You need to tell me, why is this important? You need to tell me why this makes your point valid and logical and convincing and appealing. You can compare and contrast the different perspectives and experiences of the authors or the subjects. You need to use textual evidence. That means you need to quote from the source material, those 3 texts in your paper. We'll also talk about sandwiching quotes next time. You have to make sure that it's not just yes or no. You need to show like that there is complexity of this, right? Because you and show how education can be both empowering and limiting, right? And then you conclude by reflecting on what your findings suggests about the future of education in America. So we really are focused more on American education. Here's some questions to help you kind of start thinking about the topic. What obstacles do the authors, or the characters, I mean the people in the essays, sorry, subjects, let me fix that. People in the essays, because some of them are true, right? And face in pursuing education, there's stories about people, right? How do class, gender, or race shape access to and experiences with educational institutions? And do these texts portray education as liberating, disillusioning, or both? And what role does family or community play in shaping educational choices? Okay, I'm not going to read this to you. I do very much encourage you to use an outline. This is a sample outline, and then the blank outline is here underneath this. Sorry, maybe it's at the end. Or I can, no, sorry, it's not. Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm like, oh, so here's the blank outline, which actually I'll go over in the video next week about how to structure your essay. But if you want to jump head start, this is an outline that shows you how to structure your essay. You should have a hook. This is the introduction, right? You should have a hook. You should have context, background, and that's where your thesis statement goes at the end of your first paragraph. Then you have body paragraphs 1 with a topic sentence, a quote, key example or event from the text, quote plus the analysis, a connection to the thesis, and then moving on to body paragraph 2, same thing. Okay, body paragraph 2 is the same thing, and body paragraph 3 is the same thing. Then your conclusion is a little bit different. You usually talk about how there's a connection to the, oh, sorry. I'm sorry. You can have an optional thesis synthesis paragraph. You can compare and contrast the texts. How are the texts similar or different in the portrayal of education? What insight emerges when the texts are read together? I'm sorry, I forgot about the synthesis conclusion. Sorry about that. Paragraph. That's fine to use. And conclusion, you need to restate the thesis in new words. You have a final reflection and a closing statement. Something thought-provoking or powerful. Okay, so that's the outline. I very, very much encourage you to use it. And so that's a blank outline. And then I have for you to read on your own the sample outline, which just fills in those blanks. Pay attention to things such as the title. You want a strong title that's interesting. You want a good hook. You want a thesis statement that, oops, sorry about that. No, 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 no. Sorry. Hmm. Oh my goodness, just a minute. To pause the video for a sec. Sorry about that. Just flicks the wrong thing. So please read that on your own. And also there is a sample essay. You'll also notice that educated is in there. The one that you didn't read, but that's fine because it's just an example of an essay. You do need to include a works cited page as well. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, just let me know. Remember, this is not due for a while. They just wanted to give you, a lot of people get very anxious about the first essay. I do allow people to rewrite it if they made a genuine effort and there was just problems that they didn't understand. So I highly recommend that you use the outline. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you very much.